Well, I think Xbox is super important, but I'm also wearing Xbox green. My name is Sarah Bond, and I am the Corporate Vice President of Game Creator Experience at Xbox. So my team does everything associated with what it takes to partner with or bring a game to Xbox. 70% of people under age of 25 would rather play a game than do anything else in the world. And so it's critically important that one, that experience is accessible to everyone, and two, that experience is fully inclusive of all of the stories and characters and perspectives on the planet. And we have a number of initiatives dedicated to both of those things. The first is that we put the player at the center. We don't believe that gaming should be device-centric. We believe that everybody should get the opportunity to play the game they want, on the device they want, with who they want. The second is that we are dedicated to empowering developers, and we're dedicated to empowering developers of all sizes, around all countries, and from all perspectives. We launched an initiative called the Developer Acceleration Program that is specifically dedicated to making it possible for developers that are building games or whose heritage comes from underrepresented communities to bring those games to Xbox. Independent developers, in my mind, are actually the bedrock of gaming. Every large developer and publisher today started out as an indie once. Every year there is some game that comes out that is built by an indie developer that's huge. That's where Fortnite came from. That's where Vampire Survivors came from. And so I see indie developers as the bedrock of innovation for our industry. And at Xbox, that's why we invest so deeply in indie developers. We actually just celebrated the 10-year anniversary of ID at Xbox, which is our program dedicated to enabling indie developers to bring their titles to Xbox. If you can believe it, after 10 years, the program is actually growing faster than ever. We have 5,000 creators who actually participate in the program. 700 of them joined last year, and we have 700 in the UK. Anytime you drive an innovation, there's always something that's unexpected. We created GamePass because players said that they wanted a curated catalog, they wanted it to be easier to find their games. And we believed in that, but the success, frankly, outstripped any projection that we had. And 5 years in, it's been fantastic because we achieved that for players, but just like you said, we also achieved something very special for developers, which is that we found out that people are way more likely, actually 40% more likely, to play a game in a genre that they've never tried before. 9 out of 10 people say that they're playing a game and they're only playing that game because they found it in Game Pass. And we hear from indies exactly what you just said, which is that they actually are more likely to innovate, to try something new or edgy or a new mechanic, because they know that Game Pass is going to bring that audience to their game. Tapping into gaming talent in the UK is enormously important to us as a platform. We have 700 independent developers here in the UK that are actually developing for Xbox. We have 4 studios located here in the UK, over 1,000 employees, 600 of whom are developers. You know, when I think about it, the UK, just from a historical standpoint, is the source of so many important stories in the world. So much of Western culture comes from stories that come from British culture. And so ensuring that those stories are preserved, memorialized, and celebrated in games, and also ensuring they sit along the stories from other cultures and countries, is really core and important to what we do and what we believe in at Xbox. Oh man, what is my favorite Xbox game? That is impossible, okay? I think the first Xbox game I played was Halo, but the first game that I really fell in love with was GoldenEye, which was built by Rare, although it was on the Nintendo 64. But Rare is now a first-party studio, so GoldenEye is now officially my favorite Xbox game.